Hello, Gemini. Welcome to May 2019. Oh, big stuff as we know. Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde in houses that do have to do with your relationship with other people. So, there's a lot of potential for solidification or letting go for good. It's probably going to operate in one of the extremes, right? First and foremost, first card to come out, Eight of Swords. So, Gemini, it's really important for you to quiet your mind as much as possible. Because you are an intellectual sign and it is kind of your modality of integrating with humanity and integrating with relationships, it's not that it's hard for you. It's actually probably easier for you than other signs because you are in such control of the mind. So when you find yourself going around in circles and feeling trapped by certain situations or certain kind of mental patterns or whatever, it's really important to just step off. Step off the ledge of spiraling thought. Sometimes I see this as like one of the best cards we could actually possibly get because the symbolism here, it's almost as though the more and more power you give to the swords, the more and more power you give to the dialogue going on in your mind, if you stop looking at them and you look within, you find the liberation that you're seeking. You find the freedom, you find the peace that you're really seeking. But it's going to require you to stand still in that storm. It's going to require you to be peaceful. It's hard, but it's also within your domain. We've got the new moon in the 12th house in the upcoming days. And it's a really good time for you to set intentions in terms of your spirituality. To become at that next level of awareness, right? That 8th house is forcing you there. To be honest, right? It's forcing you into higher versions of self. So whatever crossroads you appear to be at, I'm sorry, you guys, it's not an accident that both sword cards come out and they both have blindfolds on, right? That's not an accident. Stop looking at your thoughts. Right? Stop giving them so much power. The thoughts themselves are what create duality, and this is a month where tapping into this singularity, the intelligence of the heart, is going to be so much more important than the intelligence of the mind, because we know that the intelligence of the heart is far superior than the intelligence of the mind. But you are just purely intelligence in general, right? Gemini is intelligence, so it doesn't matter mind or heart. Just depends on which one you're looking at. So if you stop looking at the swords, you stop looking at the mental tornado going on, you're going to find what you're looking for. You're going to find the answer. You're going to find the direction that you need to go in. It's right there in front of you. It's kind of like someone that, is like looking all around for their glasses. Like, where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? And then the friend comes in and is like, what, the ones that you're wearing? Right? You have all the information that you need. 8th house activity, what can we say? You're here for a couple more years with Saturn and the nodes and the eclipses and all of that. Like, you're here. So you might as well indulge in the change that is happening, right? Indulge in the tsunami that is coming into your life and just completely rearranging everything. It is for your highest good, always, 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 always. It is for the highest good, even if you cannot. This is not about seeing, by the way. This is not about perceiving. This is about letting go of all perception altogether. The more and more you hang on to a perception, the more and more frustrated and sad and angry you're going to be about stuff. The Gemini energy, the mutable air energy, is one of the most flexible in the zodiac, period, right? It's like Pisces and Gemini, just like, so incredibly adaptable, so incredibly agile. But when they get locked into something, right, when they start identifying with something, they can be quite rigid as well. The rigidity will not serve you here. Okay, your relationships are transforming, you are transforming, you are witnessing what it means to be the change you wish to see in the world, right? You are witnessing that firsthand because you are changing so rapidly. You're stepping into independence, you're stepping into self-reliance, you're stepping into changing how you see relationships from being something that gives you some kind of security to being learning experiences so that you can evolve. 7th and 8th house activity. Evolution at play. Okay, here we have a card of Virgo actually. Now you may be dealing with a Virgo, you may have Virgo in your chart, or there may just be an energy around you that is weirdly stable. And with all the changes is a constant. Could be a best friend, it could be a mother, it could be a child. And there's solace here. This is the source of your security. This is the source of your groundedness, right? When there is so much up in the air. And I feel like just being around this person or tapping into this version of self, the other side of Mercury, which was a theme for 2018, and now it's kind of creeping back in a little bit, right? The Virgo side of your ruling planet Mercury. You guys kind of did a flip-flop last year. It was kind of weird. So now it's kind of coming back. Like, remember, keeping both feet on the ground, moving more slowly than you normally do. It's going to give you the wherewithal to find that inner voice, right? To find that point of singularity where the duality is not kind of driving you crazy. Okay? Okay, just make sure. Lots going on, but also like lots going on, but not really. Hanged Man. It's all, I said the same thing for Taurus, which makes sense, Taurus in the 12th house for you guys, right? It's all about perspective. That was even the title of the Taurus video, perspective. You need to get out of your perspective. You need to get out of the way you see things and the way you view the world and become more neutralized. And circumstances and situations in your life are occurring specifically for the neutralization of Gemini's mind, right? So that there's no skew. Because it's the skew that gives us that kind of upheaval. It's the skew that makes the death process really, really hard. Some people are going to be clinging to beliefs. And that's also a very dangerous thing too. You know, in Tantra and high-level Buddhist and yoga philosophy, they talk about, you know, not believing in belief. And I know that some of you are going to really struggle with that because we have so many proven things that if you believe something, this great thing can happen, or you can cure your body from illnesses or whatever, right? But to not believe in belief is kind of the first step to really tapping into that surrender and to living in the moment. This is probably a really good time for Gemini to learn how to live in the moment with absolutely zero projections for what's going to happen next. To be spontaneous. Now, I know you're a more spontaneous sign. This is real spontaneity. Okay? It's different than just like, oh, I'm a spontaneous person and identifying with that and doing kind of crazy things rather than truly living spontaneously. And the Hanged Man energy is going to keep you, it's going to be like 5 months with this Saturn retrograde in your 8th house, okay? It ends in September. So it's about just like hanging out. Go with the flow. You're not going to be able to see the whole picture right now. The only thing you can do is really just do the meditations and tap into this heart center, this heart level intelligence. And the Hanged Man ensures, it's a promise that someday you will see how important all this inner work is. You'll see how important this circumstance is. You'll see why the relationships had to change in the way that they changed. But for now, you're not going to be able to see it. It's too fuzzy. You're too close to the situation. And when I say like longer, like it is long term. Death is a long-term energy. It's not just like a couple of months. It can never be that. Death can never be short-term. It's a long-standing, ongoing process that never truly ends. 10 of coins. Gemini, you are headed straight toward great levels of abundance. There's no doubt in my mind. You are making your way professionally, financially. If your current relationship isn't working out, it's bumpy and it ends, you're going to be making your way towards something much, much, much better for your higher good. You're heading into a place of absolute safety, and it is because of the peace, right? This is nothing. I mean, the peace here, the peace and the serenity that comes through with the coins of this caliber is quite, it's quite legitimate. Creating wealth for yourself, creating joy for yourself, living in a state of bliss itself. That's where you're headed. Bliss, it's like the bliss point, and you're on that teeter-totter of past and new. I see my Geminis, like the Geminis in my life, like they're doing really well professionally, like really, really well. And that kind of worldly success is adding to their confidence, right? So it's kind of working from the outside in. And because of that, they're doing better and better and better. And new opportunities continue to come in for Gemini. New job offers, new raises, opportunities to transfer, change departments, to get promoted. All of that is on the table for Gemini, all of it. You have to, set intentions for it if that truly is something that you want. But at the same time, this whole go with the flow thing of just like, I'm just going to show up. I'm going to be my best. I'm going to just take one moment at a time as it comes. And like the more and more you do that, it's like there's no blockage. So the universe is going to allow energy to flow to you. It's all these attachments that we have that create blockages, which makes love and money and freedom and all this stuff really, really hard to get. But Gemini is like, I don't care about any of that. I'm just going to just be. And so then it comes to you. Like when you stop chasing money, money starts chasing you. That's kind of how it works. It's like the rubber band effect. Gemini is not chasing anything right now. They're just doing what makes them happy. Tapping into bliss, sun. Everything's going to be okay, right? It was started off a little bit intense, but the more and more we continue with this story, the better and better it's getting. And I'm like, wow, Gemini, like you are at the forefront of the zodiac right now. When I say the forefront, I mean you're utilizing this Scorpio energy, this 8th house energy in Capricorn in a way that not everyone is really utilizing it. Like you are rolling with the punches and evolving really fast. Really fast. And because of that, I think that you are leaders in social change within your communities, especially, or even your neighborhoods or your family. Maybe some of you much, much bigger than that if you have like a YouTube channel or you're some kind of an influencer or something like that. You are the leaders right now. 4 of coins. There's a beautiful quality of being grounded here. Grounded through change, unshakable, untouchable, feeling restful. As long as you're allowing yourself to feel like that. As long as you're allowing yourself to be that. Some Geminis are going to get caught here, and that's a really, really unfortunate. And if you're dealing with a lesser evolved or, trying not to cast judgment, no one's better than the other. No point on the path is better than the other. But someone who's just not as aware they're going to get trapped here. And when someone, anyone, doesn't even matter Gemini or not, when someone gets trapped here, they project, they live in toxicity, and they bring toxicity to life and all of those in their life. They feel suffocated because there's always, as a human being, as an entity of the divine, we know what we are intrinsically. Every single person does, no matter how good or how evil they are. We all have a knowing because you cannot escape what you are. So when someone is living so much in the ego or living so much in psychological patterns or so much in the world and they're so disconnected, it's like they're searching and they're grasping and this is what I always say with the Hanged Man energy, right? Like they're reaching in and grabbing a fistful of water, and eventually they're going to realize that they are hanging on to nothing. And that is going to break them, and it can break you as well if you're really connected with them. Eventually that might happen. Right now they're still trapped in kind of like the matrix or whatever, But I think most of you watching my videos, because I understand the level of my audience because of, what I've read in comments and emails and private readings and stuff, you are the leaders, and you're the leaders of your sign, the leaders of Gemini here. Let's go ahead and put the camera down for the clarifications and all of the comprehensive cards. I'll turn the camera around in just 1 second. Okay. Okay, there you go. Now I'm going to pull 2 from this deck here. Six of Swords. I love the scientific quality there. And it's very mercurial, right? We see the symbol of Mercury at the top. That's your vibe. This is totally where you're at. This is what I mean by intelligence. And then adjustment, right? Or justice, rather, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck is what it's called. Everyone, this is what the retrograde season is all about. Attaining equilibrium, coming back to balance, coming back to the essence of kind of like where it's supposed to be. People who are more stoic in nature, they live very streamlined lives. Not to say that things don't happen, right? But they just handle it in a way where the highs don't bring them up too high and the lows don't bring them down too low. They don't get trapped in anything. And I think that's kind of what you're learning, is to streamline the essence of your being. No games, no mental circles, no mental spinning, no emotional spinning, just like keeping it easy, right? Keeping it easy and utilizing an energy within yourself or people in your life, we'll clarify this one in just a minute, to help keep you on track, okay? And using the opposite side of your ruling planet for your benefit, right? Really tapping into Mercury's polarity and integrating both. It's not just about information and learning and connecting. It's about digging deep, analysis, connecting the dots on a much deeper level. This is a card of also spiritual evolution, science itself being an incredibly artistic thing, being high integration of both masculine and feminine energies. Science being very creative, in a way that not everyone usually thinks that it is. But I think of those moments of inspiration that just come to people. I think of those bolts of lightning that affect people and shake them to the core and enable them to develop technologies and things like that that really change humanity. Well, that's the feminine nature, right? It's tapping into the ethereal quality, thinking outside of the box, not doing things the way that everyone expects you to do it. That's Gemini. A beautiful integration of both, right? That's you. Twins, masculine, feminine, duality. You are reaching a point of singularity. There's no question in my mind. So here I have an astrology deck. Saturn, which is a card of truth, okay? Which we know about the Saturn retrograde already. So that's actually not really a surprise. But the quality of truth coming through, super hot and heavy. The truth is going to take time to evolve. The truth is going to take time to showcase itself. Do not get married to a truth, okay? Right now, there are too many ideas and opinions and thoughts and all these things floating around, and they really have nothing to do with you, right? To put perspective in perspective is really kind of the name of the game here. All right, let's go ahead and start clarifying stuff. So these will be the cards that we talk about in the comprehensive. If you want to watch that, that'll be available on my website, which is, the link will be down below. So let's go ahead and look at this Eight of Swords here. Beautiful. See, the Eight of Swords. See, you guys are being such masters right now. Two of Swords coming out again. Oh my gosh, my cards. I'm so sorry. I was in Barbados and the humidity like bent them. So now they're all like in a weird form. But yeah, like the blindfold itself, the act of not looking at the thoughts and not analyzing the thoughts themselves, to not spin out, that's where the magic happens. That's where evolved and higher expression Gemini individuals are going to find their power. Okay, Nine of Swords coming out. King of Cups. We'll pull one more. Nine of Swords is reversed though. Okay, Nine of Cups. So you have kind of the duality there. The swords versus the cups, the thoughts versus the heart. The heart is more powerful though. Justice coming out. Now it's reversed. The act of bringing things back into balance the way the universe needs them to be. The universe needs its system to be operating smoothly, and you as an individual are going to be feeling that adjustment big time. And in that adjustment process, you may feel that things aren't fair, but again, you're too close to it right now. It's so beautiful where you're going. You're not going to feel it quite yet though. There is a delay. Saturn is putting a delay on things. Wow, so many big major arcana coming out there. We're going to talk about the Guru here with the Hierophant. Page of Swords, it's you and the Magician. See, you are working magic right now. You are working magic. Wow, so many pages, you guys. Okay, I'm not going to pull any more for that. I think that's kind of self-explanatory there. Four of Coins, fine. We accept it. Six of Swords. There you are too, right? The playful side of the page, where was that? The page here, and the kingly side of that here as well. Being of the archetype of Aquarius specifically, which rules science and technology. Interesting that the card of science comes out here. Well, not interesting, actually. It's like obviously, And then we get another adjustment or another justice card. Gemini is acting a little bit out of form. Acting a little bit... There it is. There's the Tower. For some reason, I had this feeling that there was going to be a louder moment that's going to happen this month, something this month or next month maybe, there's going to be something that comes through, and Hangman reverse again. There's going to be something that comes through and makes a substantial impact on your path. It's going to be a little bit more dramatic than everything else that we've talked about. So I'm not seeing anyone else. So if you're interested in a love partner, I mean, there's a presence here, but they are not the major players in the game. You need to understand, with all this hyper internalized energy, 12th house Uranus, 12th house Sun, we're going to be having Mercury and Venus moving into the 12th house for you this month, plus the 8th house. I mean, these are the deepest houses. New moon in the 12th house, you guys. It is about you. It is about the evolution of your soul. It's about the internal return to oneness. I mean, I'm not trying to get like non-practical with you, but your life, while succeeding worldly and going out and continuing to just be like a normal person, the changes are core deep, you know, and there's going to be a blossoming effect for Gemini in 2020, without question, a blossoming even more so than you're already seeing within yourself. So pretty freaking amazing stuff, okay? Pretty amazing and pretty exciting. So, okay, I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you want to join me on the website, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.